Hi everyone, these two keyboards have many similarities. On my left, I have the Razer DeathStalker V2 Pro TKL, and on my right, I have the Redragon Horus K621. So what makes the Razer almost 4 times more expensive than the Redragon? We're gonna find out in this video. So I'll be comparing the build quality of both keyboards. I'll also be talking about the RGB lighting and the feel of both keyboards, and I chose both keyboards to have the same switches that are red switches. And also we're gonna talk about the connection reliability in the 2.4 GHz wireless mode, and I'm gonna cover what I like and what I don't like in each keyboard. So let me bring the camera up close and start by the build quality. So at first glance, when you look at these keyboards, you maybe say to yourself, all these keyboards look the same and they are maybe built the same. But when you use them and you see the Razer up close and you use it, you notice that it is much better built than the Redragon. So let me give you some examples. The Razer is made of aluminum here, so it is not flexible. It is really very sturdy, whereas the Redragon is made all of plastic and it flexes very easily. Both keycaps are ABS, but the Razer keycaps are coated with a special coat to make them last longer. Now the etching on the keycaps of the Redragon, it is not very good, especially when you light it. So it is like a little bit blurry, but the etching on the Razer is really very well made, and it is spot on, and it is really very precise. For the buttons that are not the keycaps, you have on the top of the Razer this button here that has many functions. So the first function, if it is on off, it means that you can connect the keyboard with its cable. So this is the USB-A to USB-C cable that is 2 meters that comes with the Razer keyboard, and it will become a wired keyboard in this sense. And you can put it on the 2.4 GHz here, and you can put it on Bluetooth here, and you choose your Bluetooth profile. So it is simple and straightforward. Now let me show you on the Redragon the keys that are not on the keycaps. You have this key here on the side, and this is the on-off key. So you activate it like this. You need to use your fingernail because it is not raised. And to switch between the connection modes, you need to press function and choose here either USB 2.4, Bluetooth 3, 2, or 1. For the cable of the Redragon, it also comes with USB-A to USB-C cable. It is 1.5 meters, and the good thing about it is that it has USB-A and it can become USB-C also. So this is good, and this is something that the Razer doesn't have. Also on the Redragon, you have dedicated macro keys. So you can store up to 16 macros, and you switch between the macro profiles by pressing the function. And this is here, macro 4, macro 3, and so on. So let me show you now what comes with each keyboard. So in the box of each keyboard, let me start with the Razer. I talked about the cable already. And this is the 2.4 GHz also dongle. And the Razer also comes with an extension for the dongle that I don't have here with me. It comes also with some documentation and some stickers. Now for the Redragon, it comes with the key puller. It comes also with a switch puller. This is the 2.4 GHz dongle for the Redragon cable. I talked about it already. This is the documentation, and this here is some also stickers that you can put on your PC. And it also has some spare switches. So they give you with the keyboard 4 spare switches. And this is really a very nice touch in case one of the switches goes wrong. For the media keys, both keyboards have dedicated media keys. The media keys for the Redragons are here, and they are a little bit mushy, but they work very good. And this is a volume key. The Redragon doesn't have a dedicated mute button. So on the Razer, you have this media key here. 1 click, it will play or pause the track. Double clicks, it will skip the track to the next one. And 3 clicks, it will go to the previous track. And this is here the volume knob, and it is clickable, so it is a mute button at the same time. On the back of both keyboards, you have the legs here to raise the keyboards. For the Razer, it has 2 heights. This is the first height, this is the second height. For the Redragon, it has only 1 height. Now both keyboards are covered by 2 years warranty. For the lighting, both keyboards have many lighting schemes, and you control all of the lighting using their respective software, but you can control also some of the lighting using the keyboard keys here. Also here, I like the lighting of the Razer a little bit better than the lighting of the Redragon. So you notice this is white at the highest intensity, and the Redragon is a little bit pinkish, whereas the Razer is really white. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about the feel when you type on each keyboard. And I know that this is a subjective matter, and you may like one feel of one keyboard over the other. So for me, I like the Razer better because I feel that the keys are well weighted and the switches also, and the feel of the keys here is better than the Redragon. But that doesn't mean that the Redragon is not good. They are also well weighted, so they don't feel as premium as Razer keys here, and this is, I mean, normal for the price difference. So let me make you now listen to the keyboard switches, how they sound. This is the Razer. And this is the Redragon. So now let me tell you what I like and what I don't like in each keyboard. I'm gonna start with the likes and with the Razer. For the Razer, I like its build quality. I like its battery life that is almost 60 hours when it has backlighting. And I also like the media controls. And I also like the fact that it is a reliable keyboard, so it never gave me any problem when I was using it, whether it is wired or not wired. Now for the Redragon, what I like about it is that it is budget friendly, and I also like the fact that it has these macro keys that you can program on the fly using the keyboard, and they are saved on the keyboard. And I also like the fact that it has a simple software to use. Now that brings me to what I don't like about both keyboards, and because I'm talking about the Redragon, I'm gonna continue talking about the Redragon. So a very big problem in the Redragon is that it was missing some keystrokes when I was using it. So what I did to arrange this is that I resetted it using function and escape. You can reset it by pressing these two buttons like for 5 seconds. So this corrected the problem temporarily. And I contacted also Redragon support. They sent me a firmware. I installed the firmware, but the keyboard was still not reliable. So the problem also is that it was missing keystrokes, like when it is in 2.4 gigahertz wireless, or it was in wired mode also, which is really very unusual, like when you put it in wired mode that it loses keystrokes. What I also don't like about it is the fact that it doesn't have good etching for the keys, but this is not apparent if you don't compare it to a high quality keyboard like the Razer. Now what I don't like about the Razer is that it doesn't have an onboard memory, so to store the profiles and the profile colors on the keyboard. So it needs Razer Synapse to function all the time with the Chroma Studio module. So once you unplug it from the PC, it loses the configuration of the profiles. And I confirmed this with Razer support. And I also don't like the fact that it is way too expensive for a keyboard. And I also don't like the fact that it doesn't have dedicated macro buttons. So if you want to program a macro, you need to assign it to one of the keys. So what I don't like about it also is the Razer Synapse is not the easiest software to use. It takes some getting used to, so to get a hold of the software and to configure your keyboard the way you want it. One last thing I wanted to mention about the Razer keyboard, and maybe this is something unique to my case only, is that when I used it with the 2.4 gigahertz dongle in wireless mode, it was interfering with my Mawono wireless microphone that you see in front of you here, and this is a very big drawback for me. By the way, I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link for both keyboards in the description below. If you make a purchase using my link, I will gain a small percentage at no cost to you, and this will help my channel. I hope that you liked this video and you found it useful. In case you did, please share it, subscribe to my channel, and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. I'm Eloy from Knowledge Sharing Tech. I want to thank you all for watching and see you in the next video.